old heart impacts past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions. Fact, don't ask, grab reactions. Jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused. Call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now. Y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kiru's show here. And now, let us begin. Whenever we last left off, Hope has just arrived. And there was the idea of the current threat. Now, Midoriya and everyone have all been trying effortlessly to train and improve over and over and over again to protect the world. Now, with all that being said, after 3.5 years of training, Midoriya and everyone came back to Earth. Hope included coming back to the past. Now, with all that, Midoriya, him and everyone began to train and try to keep an eye out on the skies for anything that can pop up. Now, they all did begin to train in the hyperbolic time chamber, the time dilation being muted, however the 100 times Earth's normal gravity still posing a challenge to our android companions. Along with Hope, she has never trained in a single thing Midoriya is currently trying to teach them. Now, Hope is learning new things that she's never learned before. Learning about Ki and actually being able to harness its power. Other than just being able to fly and throw around power willy-nilly. Now, that means that she's actually going to be focused and somewhat disciplined in it. And Midoriya, Momo, Mina, and Vados, let's say, actually do begin to train teach her on that. And you can tell that she's beginning to rapidly increase in power. Her base power level of, let's say, 10 billion actually beginning to spike. Now, with that being said, this is quite impressive. And Melissa actually does see what's going on. Now, let us say that roughly around 2 weeks have passed, and King Kai has not found anything within a quadrant of space that Midoriya did ask to search. Now, along with that, he is actually going over some of the plans he did have. Midoriya's plan was to head to this planet, then go to this planet. Him trying to jump in between different places that he would go. And along with Melissa trying to plan out where this attack could come from. Now, unbeknownst to them, Cell has already begun to attack and disable cities. Now, this version of Cell, he arrives and is able to, surprisingly, find that this entire planet is a gourmet meal for him. Now, he's begun to take down the cities. A small city disappeared first, and no one batted a single eye. Miscommunications here and there, but Cell simply destroyed a communications tower. So, it was easy to mistake it. Now, with that being said, Cell actually does make a move, heading to a very big city. and beginning his attack there. Now, nothing really major is set off until Cell does actually break into a facility and begin to attack some of the enhanced humans, or closer to androids, that we do have. Now, with this, Bakugo actually does have a security alert pop up on his screen, or in his eye, informing him that this sector and this facility number is currently under attack or under siege. Now, Melissa, Todoroki, Kirishima, and Kendo also do receive this message, going to bolt out of the time chamber. Now, as soon as they do run through the open door, they actually all immediately take flight and head for that direction. Midoriya confused, as he does run outside and ask King Kai exactly what is going on. King Kai informing him that it seems like something is going on within a city, and that Midoriya needs to head there now, asking him to look for a power level. Now, Midoriya, he actually does, and he uses instant transmission. Now, he actually does arrive. As soon as he does pop up, he is standing next to a white-haired girl. Him looking at her and saying that he's sorry that he had to drop in, but something's going on, before he powers up and takes flight. Now, the white-haired girl is actually quite surprised by that, as her eyes do somewhat twinkle, watching the Saiyan fly away. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, he just continues on, searching for power levels, along with actually heading towards the building that does seem to be destroyed. Now, Midoriya, he's beginning to feel it, and he finally does actually arrive, flying into a giant open window, or open, crater, and down into an underground facility, as he does see piles of what look to be clothes, and some strange metal pieces on the ground. Now, he actually does begin to power up, turning Super Saiyan, as he begins to try and fly through the facility. Now, Midoriya is doing very good. He went through several hallways and different corridors, before he is actually flying at high speeds down this one. As soon as he actually does go to look around a corner, he is immediately punched across his face, and sent flying backwards into the wall. Now, Midoriya goes through it and goes barreling into the earth, as he does actually bring his hands behind him and blast ki outwards, as Midoriya actually does begin to move forwards, flying in and throwing out a punch, as Imperfect Cell does catch it. Midoriya is seeing this and looking at this strange bug man. Now, Midoriya is confused. What the hell? Who are you? Oh my. You're not Goku. Goku? What the fuck is a Goku? It appears I do have the wrong timeline. Oh well. At least I can make quick work of you. Now, Midoriya actually is beginning to power up more. Cell beginning to feel. Midoriya gets stronger, and the force behind his fist get harder, as Midoriya actually does go to throw up his left hand, and Imperfect Cell does actually go to dodge out of the way, backing away as he actually does turn around and do one thing, going to take off in flight. Now, as that does happen, Midoriya begins to give chase. Meanwhile, for Bakugo and everyone else, they have just arrived at the facility, along with, let's say, Momo, and Mina. Now, they have all begun to try and figure out what is going on, feeling an unfamiliar power level. Now, the power level does seem to be around their levels, and it's quite surprising, as Midoriya is still chasing down Cell, and as they are flying, Cell does see an opportunity, finding the lab he was heading for, as he actually does throw a solar flare towards Midoriya. Midoriya being blinded as Cell kicks him across the face, sending him flying into a wall. Falling down as he does try and keep his eyes closed, trying to blink away till his vision is clear. Now, Cell, he's busted through the lab, and he does kill the lead scientist in the room, as he actually does begin to look through the pods. Now, he is very confused, but he is wondering if this will still allow him to achieve his perfect form. Beginning to eat what is inside, or absorb, you can say. Now, Cell does actually absorb quite a few people who are recently having their augmentations messed with, or enhanced and modified for their bodies. Him eating Mineta, Denki, and I don't remember his name, but the sugar guy. No. These three, their bodies, they didn't go as much augmentation as, let's say, well, not even the androids really. They would have, they'd probably be more modified actually, since, yeah, space technology. Alright, that does work. Now, Cell does actually achieve his semi-perfect form by doing this. Taking on that much power at once, he needed a form to contain it all. Now, along with that, the imperfects that he's been eating, or the not so heavily modified humans, they are still a little bit easy, or he can consider a light snack. Cell achieving his second form. Now, Midoriya, he actually does see what's going on. And he tells this thing that he needs to get the hell out of there. And that if he tries any more, then he's going to blow this whole place sky high. Now, Cell actually does call Midoriya's bluff. To which Midoriya does one single thing. He does bring his hands up, before pulling them behind his back. Cell watching as Midoriya does power up to his maximum. And he does actually blast out forwards a large blast, engulfing most of the facility, and, well, a good portion of the city. Now, the city was being evacuated. However, that does not excuse what Midoriya currently just did. Midoriya made sure there wasn't a lot of people in that direction. And he does understand that this threat might be what killed him in the future. So, if need be, he can wish them all back with the Dragon Balls. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, he blasts the room away. And he actually does feel a bit tired after letting out that much power in one single blast. As Cell is just standing there, pissed off, floating, and angry, asking Midoriya if he's had his fun. What? How are you still alive? It seems that you do not understand what is going on, boy. You see, I am from a timeline far in the future. And, funny thing, I'm not supposed to be here. What are you talking about? Well, I don't know. I'm guessing I traveled to the wrong universe. The wrong universe? What do you mean? I don't know. This place, however, is quite interesting. You have androids everywhere. And then a Saiyan. Quite peculiar. Now, Cell does go on with a bit of an explanation, stating that he is going to give him a bit of time. And he's going to let him use these final moments to lament on what he has done. Now, Midoriya actually does do one thing. He does go to power up more, as Mina and Momo actually join into the fight, Cell being surrounded by these three. As Midoriya asks them exactly what took them so long. We had to make sure you didn't kill everyone. Sorry about that. But we can bring them back. Now, Momo actually does look at Midoriya a little bit more concerned. Midoriya didn't even care that he probably killed some people, only caring about the threat to him. However, she does somewhat get what he's going with. If they can be brought back again, then nothing says that they can't be brought back twice. Now, she quickly brushes that off, turning Super Saiyan. Her mind swiftly changing from that to exactly what are they going to have to do to kill this thing. Now, along with that, we do have Mina, who does show off her new ability. But I'm confused at how she would keep up with them. However, she releases her ultimate form. Now, she actually does show off the power-up she's received from Elder Kai. After she was training, she broke the Z-Sword. She was going to try and use magic to enhance it, or possibly even increase its weight to help out her training. However, she may have casted the wrong spell. Or we can just say that her magic, along with what Beerus did to Elder Kai, she broke the seal, and the sword shattered. After that happened, Elder Kai did begin to explain to her that he can give her a power-up, after she underwent some more training. Now, Midoriya and Momo are actually quite surprised, staring at her for a second. So, she's currently outranking them in power. That form. Transformation? Interesting. Ask more about that later. Now, they actually all do face off against Cell, as Bakugo actually does get in on this. Now, Bakugo does join in, along with Hope wondering if she can provide any assistance. Melissa trying to explain to her that that might not be possible, and that for right now, what she should be focusing on is keeping people alive. However, she quickly breaks from that idea. If this is the threat that kills Midoriya, she is not going to stand by. Now, we currently have 5 people facing down the threat. And Cell actually does get a bit ready, popping his neck and beginning to actually start talking, explaining that he's waiting for them all to attack. He wants to test out some of these new powers. Now, they all quickly blitz him, And Cell, he actually does have a lot more trouble. His body, from absorbing enhanced humans and those strange beings or cyborgs, has gone through a power increase. In fact, drastically. And he does actually outrank quite a lot of them now, fighting back against everyone. Now, Cell is dodging and weaving between all of them. Midoriya and Momo, they're able to try and at least dodge each other's punches. However, Bakugo, whenever he did try and fight, he was unable to actually keep up with them, showing exactly how far behind he may have fallen within the last 3.5 years. Now, he is able to at least try and create an algorithm of their fight patterns, to at least try and give him some way of counterability. Now, with all that being said, Hope is also trying to understand this power. Now, after Cell basically toys around with them and does have his own fun, he does quickly take them all out. Not killing them, however. He simply just disables them all. Now, he is unaware that Bakugo is an actual android. He does look different, and he does feel some form of energy coming from the boy. Now, with all that being said, Hope does try and get in on the fight. Going to rush towards Cell. As soon as that did happen, Cell immediately just backhanded her. And this actually did snap her neck. Her being sent flying as she actually does hit the ground, her body going limp. Or at least beginning to twitch a bit. Cell didn't put enough voice behind that to kill her. However, he did expect her to be far stronger than that. Now, with all that being said, Midoriya, he actually does go to bring his hand up, being able to move his hand towards his leg, being able to actually heal it. Now, as soon as that does happen, Midoriya actually does go to stand on his legs now, being able to at least get somewhat onto his feet, before just beginning to try and focus. Come on. Ultra Instinct, please. Don't fail me now. Midoriya going into focus. As a minute does pass, and Midoriya does get covered by the silver aura. Cell actually noticing this. So what is it now? Let's see. Now, this is whenever Midoriya does actually go to fight against Cell. And everyone is watching. Now, after Momo does get up with a healing technique, she actually does go over and begin to try and get everyone onto their feet, along with actually trying to find out where Inko and Hasashi are. Now, after she does get everyone to their feet, she actually does go and get Hope onto her feet. Hope receiving a massive Zenkai boost. And this actually does catch Momo's attention. Hope getting back on her feet and trying to power up, before being told by Momo that she doesn't need to do that. Now, Hope then does actually watch Midoriya just simply beginning to walk towards Cell. Cell going to try and blitz Midoriya, as Cell disappears, appearing behind Midoriya as he does actually go to throw his hand out from all the way from the right to the left, as if to cut Midoriya's head off. Before Midoriya, it looked like he didn't even move. However, he barely even wasted energy dodging Cell's attack before quickly spinning around. And Cell was covered in what seemed to be dots of light, before feeling what could be described as 1,000 punches hits him all over his body. Cell immediately just spitting up blood. He's actually going to go flying backwards. Now, as soon as that did happen, Cell did begin to power up, showing off his actual ki. Now, it is hard to describe what would happen next, as these two do begin to fight. Now, Midoriya and Cell do go back and forth. Cell going to throw out a right hook as Midoriya does dodge it, throwing out his left hand and jabbing Cell where his ribs should be. Now, after that happens, Midoriya, he just goes on the offensive, completely trying to overpower Cell, as Vados does watch. Midoriya fighting, before he drops into Mastered Ultra Instincts, and his power does take a high turn. Now, with that being said, after Midoriya does drop into Mastered Ultra Instinct, he does begin to dominate Cell in their fights. Now, Cell just simply begins to try and resort to cheap tactics, trying to create Cybermen, Cell Juniors in his imperfect form. However, this does not really work out very well. Upon creating a few of them, Midoriya instantly kills them. And he just keeps fighting. Midoriya and Cell, they look like they're on even par. However, Cell is struggling to evade Midoriya's blows. He can barely go on the offensive. Even then, he's always on the defensive. This being until Midoriya actually does suffer backlash. His already injured body, and small reservoir of ki left, it backfires. Midoriya actually, whenever he does go to attack, dropping out of the form. Cell going on the offensive and blasting Midoriya away, blasting him in the stomach as Midoriya gets sent flying backwards, before Vados does actually bring Inko and Asashi to the battlefield. These two both powering up to Kaioken times 50. Asashi's power level and his own power going to 4.8 trillion. Now, Hasashi, he might not be the best at power. However, he does show off something that he believes will make Cell scared. As soon as he does go to times 50, he actually does double his power, jumping to times 100. As he does go to rush forwards. Inko also doing this, before Vados does actually walk over and find Midoriya. Him just laying there with blood pouring from his arms, legs, and face. His hands twitching and at least signaling that he is still alive. Midoriya just trying to form a fist and get back onto his feet, or trying to simply just pick up his arm, before it just goes back down onto the ground. Now, Vados does explain to Midoriya that he does have to actually use Hakai energy, and that it may be a bad idea, or possibly seem like it to him right now, but if he doesn't do it, then Cell will not be destroyed. Now, Midoriya does understand, and Vados continues to explain to him that without this energy, he cannot kill Cell. And Cell, he will kill everyone. Now, Cell quickly takes down Hasashi and Inko, before he actually does state one thing. They are really boring him. He was expecting a fight from Son Goku. However, there was that little form that the boy showed off. Cell actually walking up to Midoriya. Everyone somewhat scared. Cell actually just picking Midoriya up by his throat. As he does ask if this lady here is going to intervene. Oh no, I cannot intervene. I am the aid of the God of Destruction. I cannot assist in mortal matters. God of Destruction. So what exactly are you doing here? Why, Midoriya is the God of Destruction in training. He is to inherit that role and power whenever he does actually kill or defeat Beerus. Interesting. So, him bring Midoriya to his eye level. Midoriya just opening his eyes, he does go to power up. Midoriya's ki sparking into Super Saiyan for 2 seconds. Cell calling Midoriya a remarkable young man, and that he should not feel devastated. In fact, he's going to give him a small offer. He is going to let him train and get stronger. In the meantime, he will be doing the same. Now, he instructs Midoriya to become the God of Destruction and fight him. If he can do that, then this pitiful planet can live. If he cannot, then well, he's going to destroy everyone he ever cares about and loves. Starting with, as he does actually stare down at Momo. Before he does actually just drop Midoriya back onto the ground. Midoriya falling backwards as he does begin to try and heal himself. Midoriya quickly passing out, trying to. Now, he does actually wake up later on down the line. Let's say a few hours later. Confused as to what happened. Before being informed that Cell gave them a few, well, weeks if you can call it that. He hasn't officially announced it yet, or really told anyone anything. So that means that at any time, whenever Cell deems them to be an actual threat to him, he can come and kill them. Vados explaining to them exactly what that would mean. Telling them that most likely Cell does want an actual challenge. And Midoriya's Ultra Instinct may be the closest thing he has seen to it. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing night. I will catch you guys in the next part.